my bookmark just flew out, is described as a womb raider. I need to get through this book because I cannot deal with anything just like on that level. No. Hello everyone, please ignore the state of me. Not starting off with a great start, but I normally try my best to look a little bit more presentable when I start a new video, but I'm currently on my lunch break and I want to get the intro to this video and just start this video so that I can like get it started. I don't know, I just need to get this book video started basically. So I actually don't know what we're going to call this video. In my head I'm thinking mood reading because I feel like that is literally what we're going to be doing. Long story short, I've been in a little bit of a slump. I don't know, I'm reading some books that I'm loving and then like I've just had to DNF a book. I'm currently reading The Midnight Library, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. I literally only have like this much left, so I plan to finish this today. I won't be filming that for this video. I feel like this is just a read outside of a video, but the book that I want to read after this is the one I want to read with you guys because I've heard nothing but good things, and that is Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke. I think that's how you pronounce it. This book literally arrived today. It got delivered today, and the minute it arrived I was like, right, well, I immediately want to pick this up because all I've heard are amazing things. And this is basically, I don't know too much about it, but it follows a girl called Natalie, and I believe she's an influencer and she's kind of like a farmhouse wife. She's got an amazing home, a husband, kids, like she's got the dream life and she sells that to everyone online. However, that's not the reality. I think she has a lot of help behind the scenes. Like there are people that film all the content, there are nannies, there are like all these behind the scenes characters that obviously the viewer isn't aware of. And I think she's basically the trad wife who's got it like, you know, lives on a really nice farm and has this idyllic life, and then I think she ends up waking up one day and she's actually in like a different version of her reality where she doesn't have all the things she has to help her and she's like actually just a wife without all the help or something along those lines. I'm not too sure, but it just says, then one morning Natalie wakes up in a strange, horrible version of reality. Her home, her husband, her children, they're all familiar, but something is off. Is this a hoax? Is it a reality show? A test from God? Natalie knows just two things for sure. This isn't her perfect life and she must escape by any means possible. And it says it's for The Stepford Wives meets The Handmaid's Tale. I've never read The Stepford Wives, but I've watched some of The Handmaid's Tale and I've just heard really, really like incredible, amazing things about this book. And I feel like I just need a good book to like sink my teeth into. And I feel like this one is it because I have been loving my lit fic, general fiction kind of books recently. I'm really getting more into that genre. But we are going to be starting Yesteryear. I'm obviously going to be starting this probably this evening once I finish The Midnight Library. So I will catch up with you guys once I've actually read a bit more of this, got into it, and we can hopefully, maybe it'll be a 5-star. I have high hopes for this one, so fingers crossed. So this is obviously a bit different to usual because I'm actually sat in the garden right now because it is so nice and warm. I really do apologise because you can probably hear the water feature right behind, like literally there. I'm hoping it's not too bad whilst I talk. If it is, I apologise. I'm going to try to keep this short because I look a hot mess as well right now. It's literally Friday afternoon. And I thought I'll quickly update on the book because I don't think I've updated. Oh my god, I thought I heard someone trying to come in the gate. I haven't updated since I started the book, and I'm actually now like 40% in. I'm on chapter 24. Oh my god. I've been reading it on my Kindle mainly, but oh, my bookmark just flew out. Chapter 24. We are 162 pages in, so we're nearing halfway, so I thought I'd quickly update. I am really enjoying this one. I feel like it's such an interesting read. It's like nothing I've ever read. Really enjoying it. I feel like it's such a unique book to me, because as I said, I've never read anything like this, and it's just interesting because we're seeing so at the very start of the book you see Natalie, who's the trad wife, on Instagram. She's a big influencer, all this kind of stuff, and you see like how she is, and you kind of think she's a bit of a dick, because she kind of is. And then she obviously wakes up and she's in the real 1805 as a real trad wife and realising the realities of it. But she's still not coming across great, but she's obviously very confused. She doesn't really understand what's going on. I, as the reader, don't understand what's going on. I don't know whether is it like an alternate reality? Is it she's been put into some weird, like, don't worry darling kind of thing? I have no idea what's going on, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the journey. It's really interesting the way it's written. I love the writing style. I feel like it's really captivating. I'm really intrigued. I'm hooked the whole way through, and then we get flashbacks from like when her and Caleb, her now husband, first met, their relationship, how she's become the woman she is today in like her real life, while she's also experiencing everything in this 1805 timeline. So it is really interesting. It's really fun. I feel like it's such a unique read. I don't really feel like I have much to say other than that, like, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely unique. It's definitely gripping me. Rating, I really don't know what I would rate it, because obviously I'm still waiting to figure out like what is actually going on, like what is actually the case. How has she ended up in this other timeline? Is she going to have a redemption arc? Is she going to come out worse from it? I don't know. But as I said, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm nearly halfway through, and I started it I think like 2 days ago, so I feel like that's pretty good. I will update you guys once I'm further in and let you know what we're thinking. Hello everyone, so I thought I would quickly update because I have now finished Yesteryear by Cara Claire Burke, I believe, and I thought I'd quickly give you my update. I feel like I haven't really said, I've said a bit but I haven't said a lot about this book. I feel like I was really mixed. I think the first 40% was really intriguing, really fast moving. I was really hooked. I wanted to know what was going on, why we were in sort of like what happened in the past to get to the point we were at in the present, and then also just like what was going on in present day, like why was she suddenly in 1805, how did that make sense, how did it work? And then I do think it kind of slowed down a bit, like probably around, I want to say the 60 to probably like 70-80% mark. I feel like it then kind of, we took a bit of a slow route and it felt a bit repetitive because we just kept kind of we were learning a lot about her background when we were doing like the past timeline, but like in the present timeline where she obviously was in the older time, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it felt very slow, very repetitive, and like I was kind of just reading the same kind of thing over and over and we weren't really moving anywhere. But I will say the last probably like 20% of this book, I couldn't stop. I literally binged it. I was like, right, what's going on? Let me figure it out. I will say the ending didn't throw me. I feel like I kind of was expecting this really huge reveal and this big, oh my god, like no way, that's explanation as to all. And I feel like it was a good ending and I enjoyed the ending and it kept me hooked, but it wasn't, I feel like I wanted more from the ending, if that makes sense. Anyway, all of that being said, I have decided to rate this one 4 stars. I feel like when it was slowing down, it was really, it kind of drew back to like a 3.5, 3.75. But when I look at this story as a whole, I do think it's a really good book. I feel like it's a really interesting premise. It's, as I said many times, it's not like anything I've read before. I feel like I'd recommend it to a lot of people that want like a really intriguing, mind-bending book, because that's how it felt for me. I felt really like one second I'd think this, the next thing I'd think that, and like it constantly keeps you thinking, which I really enjoyed. So I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for like a fun general fiction, kind of like unique premise if you've not read anything like that. So all of that being said, I now need to pick what book I'm going to read next. The one I kind of have on my radar isn't one that really screams to me, but I feel like it could be a funny, light-hearted, really quick, bingeable read, and that is The Bali Bucket List by Ava Wilde. I don't know if this author has anything else out actually, because I basically just got approved for this arc on NetGalley and I need to read it ideally before it comes out, and I think it comes out, she's written a fair few books. This one comes out in July. Weirdly it says it's published July 2025, but I don't believe it has because it's still on NetGalley and it says it hasn't been published yet, unless I'm mistaken. I don't know, but I need to get a review up for this soon. It literally just says on it, eat, pray, love, but make it spicy and unhinged in the best way. So I feel like this is obviously about a girl who goes to Bali, and it says getting dumped by her fiance was the best thing that happened to her. So I'm guessing it's kind of like finding yourself in Bali, but make it spicy, potentially. Don't know how I'm going to feel about it because I have a very, very, like, what's the right word? I don't know if low, but like very low cringe meter. I really can't stand cringy books. So as long as it doesn't fall into that territory, maybe I'll have a good time. I feel like I just want something light-hearted, fun, easy to binge for now. We're just going to see how we go. Hello everyone, so I thought I'd quickly update on the Bali bucket list because I started this yesterday when I last spoke with you guys, and I'm now 42% in, so we have flown through this. It says I have 4 hours left, but the annoying thing is because it's an arc, I actually don't know how many pages there are in this book. Saying that, I wonder if it tells me on Goodreads, because obviously it's on Goodreads, but I don't know if it has like all of the book details yet. It says it's 462 pages. Okay, sorry. I'm just really hoping that's actually incorrect because I'm 42% in and I'm feeling a little bit bored in the nicest way. Obviously pre-thinking, Sash, you started this yesterday and you're already nearly halfway. Surely you're enjoying it. It's just very easy to binge and to read. I will say I think if I wasn't reading this as an arc, I may DNF it. Obviously we're following a girl called Jasmine who, her fiance's broken up with her after 10 years together. They were meant to get married within like, I think a month or so's time. And yeah, he basically calls off the wedding, breaks up with her, and she's like, what the hell? All I've known is him for the last 10 years of my life. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want. And she's always wanted to solo travel and she's always wanted to go to Bali. So her friend's basically like, look, go, do it. Like, why not? This is the time. So she goes, yeah, you know what? You're right. So she goes off, lands in Bali. She makes like the Bali bucket list, of course, as is the title of the book. And it's all like finding yourself and all this stuff. And that's great. But as I said, I think I said this when I first started this book, I have a very low cringe meter. And I feel like that's working against me because there are some parts that aren't cringe and I just get cringed out by it, but there are a lot of parts that are cringe within this book. I think from the get-go this book isn't something I would usually read or enjoy, so it's already kind of at a disadvantage. But in my head I was like, well, if it's done well then maybe it will be a different experience and it will be better than I think, but unfortunately, yeah, it's not quite hitting for me. Also, the fact it's 462 pages long, if that is correct, I think that is way too long. Because I already feel like things are happening, but I still feel like we're dragging a bit. That is currently where we're at with the Bali bucket list, and I will update you guys probably when I'm nearing the end, or like 70-ish%. This is actually hilarious because I just filmed that update and I went and sat and started to get back into reading, and I've just read one of the worst lines I've ever seen in my life. Basically, there's a guy that she's met and she's having a little rendezvous with, and his private asset, this is a really way to describe this, but his private asset is described as a womb raider. I'm sorry. And then she says, no one warned me Bali had monsters. I'm sorry, I just can't. Just keeps getting worse. Okay, I'm gonna try continue on. Right. I keep saying I'm gonna go and then I read something and I have to come back because I'm pretty sure this is not even possible and this scientifically doesn't make sense. And it's always made me want to throw up. And they are currently doing the deed, and Mr. Womb Raider, that's how we're going to refer to him now, is doing his thing, and she can see it through her stomach. Like, that's not possible. There is no way that's actually scientifically, physically possible, because she's looking down at her stomach, and she can see him up in there, like the outline of it, because that's how, wow. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I actually just can't. I need to get through this bit because I cannot deal with anything just like on that level. No. Hello everyone, so I thought we'd quickly update because I haven't actually spoken to you guys since I finished the Bali bucket list and started the next read. I'm going to keep my review on the Bali bucket list short and sweet because I don't have great things to say. It just really wasn't my thing. I think it already was a book that isn't in my comfort zone and isn't really my vibe as such, and I think that it just it went the way I thought it would. There was a very small potential regardless of it being a book that I would enjoy, and oh my god, it wasn't, what's the right word? It isn't a book I'd normally go to anyway, but I thought, oh, you never know, let's give it a go. But yeah, sadly it just wasn't for me. I did end up rating it a 2.5, literally bang on middle ground, because I was like, it wasn't for me, it might be for someone else. It didn't hit a 3 for me, unfortunately, so it was a 2.5. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about the book because I feel like I don't really have much else to say. But the book we actually decided to pick up, I don't have the physical copy of it because it only is out in hardback, and I've got the first book in paperback, but it is the second in, I think it's meant to be a trilogy, and that is The Strength of the Few by James Islington. I think I read The Will of the Many December time, and I think I did read it in a vlog. I may be wrong, but I feel like, I think I did vlog me reading it. Did I? I don't know, I think I did. Anyway. So if you're unsure about The Will of the Many, I'll give you a brief overview. I will say I went in pretty blind, so I'm not going to say too much because I do think it's a good one to go into blind. So I'm going to read a bit of what it says on Goodreads. It says, I think it's Canton Republic, the hierarchy, may rule the world now, but they do not know everything. I tell them my name is Viz. I tell them I was orphaned after a tragic accident 3 years ago, and that good fortune alone has led me to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. I tell them that once I graduate, I will gladly join the rest of civilized society in allowing my strength, my drive, and my focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power of those above me, as millions already do, as all must eventually do. I tell them that I belong, and they believe me, but the truth is that I've been sent to the academy to find answers, to solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, to uncover secrets that may tear the Republic apart, and that I will never ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. To survive, though, I will still have to rise through the academy's ranks. I will have to smile and make friends and pretend to be one of them and win. Because if I cannot, then those who want to control me, who know my real name, will no longer have any use for me. And if the hierarchy finds out who I truly am, they will kill me. Like, does that not sound really good? I think this would make a great series or like movie. Obviously there's a lot of moving parts to it, but I just think it would be just such a good TV adaptation, but it would have to be done so right, so we will see. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview into this book and this world. I'm actually quite far. I only started this yesterday and I'm 35% in, 255 pages in, because I have been binging this like no tomorrow. I will say I've primarily been using the audiobook for this one because I did audiobook, I kind of like did half and half with the first one, and I found that really helped. This one I'm audiobooking primarily. I feel like it's bit easier for me to digest it in an audiobook rather than reading it. With all that being said, I'm going to continue reading and I'll probably update you guys when I'm a bit further in. Hello everyone, so I feel like I should update on The Strength of the Few because I feel like I checked in quite well and got quite a good few clips of me reading the other books in this video. Well, definitely the first book. Yesterday I feel like we got a good amount of footage on. However, this book, I feel like I updated you guys that I was reading it. I haven't updated since, and I'm now 82% into it. So, obviously the second book in a series, so I'm not really going to delve into it too much. But I am thoroughly enjoying it. I think I've been reading it for like I think maybe today is the 3rd or 4th day. So we're getting through it quite quickly because I think it is like 700 odd pages. So we're making progress. I will say I feel like, I don't know whether I preferred The Will of the Many or not. I feel like this book, I binged the first 50% really, really quick. Like 2 days and I was 50% in. I was flying through it, and then I think just because life's been a bit busier over the last few days, I haven't read as much, and I feel like because I haven't been consuming it as quickly, it's kind of just like not fallen off in my brain, but I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, I need to pick that up. I think I have like 3 hours left of the book. I have primarily been doing the audiobook, and I feel like that is my preferred way to read this book. I feel like I'm finding it easier to digest. I'm enjoying it more when I'm listening to it. But yeah, I don't really have much to say because I don't want to say anything about the plot, because I don't want to ruin anything. So like all I can say is I'm enjoying it. It's good. A lot is happening. I feel like a lot happened in the first 40%, and then we kind of like dropped off, and then at like the 70% mark we picked back up and things started to fall into place, and like a lot is happening. I have zero idea on what is going to happen with the end. I think there's a 3rd book coming, so I know we're not going to probably get all the answers, but I just don't know what will be the outcome and how it will all tie up. Rating wise, I think I rated The Will of the Many at 4.5. I feel like we're currently at a strong 4, potentially at 4.5. I don't think it's quite at 4.5 just yet, but I don't think it'll be a 5 currently. I feel like it's just not giving me the 5-star vibe, but it is giving me a very strong high 4, potentially, depending on how we go. So I feel like I may have said a whole lot of nothing here. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. I just don't want to say too much because obviously it is the second book, so I'm going to keep it completely no spoilers, no idea, because I feel like it's a good book to go in blind. So I'm going to finish the book, hopefully potentially today. I'm about to go out, but I'm hoping maybe later this evening I'll be able to finish the book at some point, if not definitely by tomorrow, and then we'll recap and I'll be able to give you a little update and rating for that one. So I will speak to you guys very soon. So I have now finished The Strength of the Few. Why do I have such a hard time of saying that? The Strength of the Few, and I thought I'd quickly give my overall final thoughts and opinions. I'm sorry, I feel like I haven't really updated, and when I have, I've obviously been pretty vague. But as I said, it's the second book, and it's a very complex world. It's a very complex read. I feel like it's one that is better if you go in blind. And if you want to find out more about it, do it of your own accord. I don't want to say something and then someone think, oh, like, I didn't want to know that. So, overall, I decided to give it 4 stars. I do think I preferred the first one, The Will of the Many. I did rate that one a 4.5. This one was really close. I think I said to like a 4.5, but it's a hard one because the ending was very, very good. The ending was very good. We got a lot of information. We found out a lot. But I also feel a little bit disheartened because it kind of felt like we went into this book with a lot of questions. Like the end of book 1 was like, how is that even going to work? What is going to happen? This is crazy. And then going into book 2, you're learning a lot. Things are happening. We get a lot of key points, but this book is 700 pages long, and I feel like I've read to the end of the book and I've just got more questions than I did answers, and I feel like that's fine, because obviously there is going to be another book, and that's like fine and fun, and you know, it keeps me intrigued. But then I also do think it would have been nice to have a few more answers, because it also kind of left me feeling like I've read all of this and I'm still not that close or much further to figuring things out that I've been questioning for a while, if that makes any sense. So like, I enjoyed it a lot. I love the world. I love his writing style. I think James Islington has an incredible brain. I don't know how he comes up with these things. I'm so in awe, and I love the world, and I rated it 4 star. That's still a good rating. Unfortunately, obviously, I wanted it to be a 4.5, potentially a 5 star. Did it hit that note? But I do think book 3 could be incredible based on how book 2 ends, and just I think the pace of book 2 was quite slow. I don't know whether that's because maybe it was meant to be in my eyes, I feel like it's one of those ones where I feel like it maybe was meant to be a duology, and we're now making it into a trilogy, so we kind of had to have a bit of a filler period, and it was a little bit slow in part. So I feel like book 3 is going to be where everything kind of kicks into high gear. A lot happens, hopefully a little bit faster paced, and hopefully a little bit cleaner. Obviously I listened to the audiobook for the majority of this book, which I think really helped, but I will say there are a lot more new terms, there are a lot more new locations, there's a lot more new peak characters. It is a lot on your brain. It's at points got a little bit confusing to me. Not bad enough that I couldn't figure it out as we went along, but there were just certain points where I was thinking, okay, wait, hold on, like let me just pause and figure out how this is all working and what is actually happening, because it's a lot. Anyway, all of that being said, it was still a great book. I would still highly recommend the Will of the Many and The Strength of the Few. I don't know when book 3 is coming out. Maybe it's one that you want to wait, but honestly, it's an incredible world, and it is unlike any other book I've ever really read, so I rate it very highly. I am going to close off today's video here. Obviously, what did we read? God, Yesteryear. We read Yesteryear, which I did really enjoy. We read... What did I read after Yesteryear? Oh, The Bali Bucket List, which obviously, no, was not my vibe. And then we read The Strength of the Few. So, I mean, I got up to date on a series. I read a very anticipated read, and then I read an arc that I needed to read. Although I didn't enjoy it, we still accomplished a lot. So I feel like we did alright overall. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. Please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.